Oh, What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Review Show. I'm your host, Chris. Joined today is my co-host, JoJo.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about another DC-related title, Suicide Squad. James Gunn. Has he done it again? Who knows? Maybe.
We know because we saw
it. Significantly better than the first one. Significantly. Like, not even fucking close. It was night and day difference. I had very little interest in the first one. I did see something that he didn't put in the movie that he said he wanted to do. It was like a big thing that he thought about, but he didn't. Since, you know, he's fucking James Gunn. He just has everything at his disposal, apparently. But he was actually thinking about making, like, Superman the big bad villain of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing for that game, too, already.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
I wonder if they told him not to do it because of that.
So, yeah. James Gunn being James Gunn, you know, a lot of his movies kind of, they feel the same but don't feel the same, I guess I should say. Like, he's got a good way of spacing out where you feel it's a different movie, but there are aspects where you're like, oh yeah, this is very Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit. His brother showing up to play the weird roles as always.
Yes, he's done it twice.
Yeah, bald prison inmate, and then fucking whatchamacallit, the fucking weasel.
Yeah. And I think that was supposed to be Calendar Man.
Okay.
Too.
Oh, was that real? Yeah, that would have been. Oh my god.
I think it's what they credited him at.
Only reason I know anything about Calendar Man is because fucking Arkham Asylum. If it wasn't for that video game set, I would not know who the fuck Calendar Man is.
He's part of the real good Batman series. I think it was Long Halloween. I think he's a big part of that. Asset.
I don't know.
But yeah. So it was a bit part. He's barely in it.
Yeah. Yeah, which it was funny because those were like right back to back, like the best weasel part where he's like fucking just licking the window and then fucking he just sees fucking Idris Elba just staring at him. He's just like, that show was fucking funny, dude. Yeah, I mean I hate this character. She's the worst in my opinion. I hate this character, but fucking Waller.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the actress that plays her, though. Like, I've seen her in a lot of stuff. Like, my favorite movie by far to this point is Fences with Denzel Washington. Probably one of the best pieces of work I've ever seen her fucking play. Where she plays this housewife. So Denzel Washington, like, apparently wrote and directed this fucking movie, which I didn't even know he was on that level yet, but fucking Denzel Washington. Dude's a fucking beast. Literally one of my favorite actors. He in the movie, he's basically like, it's about like, you know, kind of like just surviving, living day by day. And so the whole thing is just about like the household. Like, there's him, there's the son from another marriage, there's the son from that marriage, and the son from that marriage is still a kid, and he's trying to still teach that kid how to become a man, be an adult. He's a guy that, you know, definitely got he thinks it was due to racism. In the movie, they seem to point out that, like, there were at that time, it was, like, the beginning of, like, black players being let into, like, you know, major league sports. And so he thinks that because he wasn't, or that because he was black, he didn't get held back. Other characters that are black in the movie make it seem like, well, there were also other black people going through it at the same time. You were just kind of, you know, not back and forth. It's some back and forth stuff. They never get to like the whole crux of the thing. But anyways, because it's more about like where he's at now in life. Like, that's his resentment towards the world. And he uses that as like he uses baseball for analogy for everything, which some people, whenever that's their life, they tend to do that, which is great. But like, one of my things is like that I loved from him was always like, fucking better not strike out, better not strike. Like, everything he fucking talks about is all like, fucking told you to go to work, you didn't go to work, that's strike one. Told you to do this, you didn't do that, that's strike two. Don't strike out. Do not strike out. Like, I fucking, dude, Denzel Washington's so good. Anyways, so he's got this whole thing going on.
So I was looking. She did that movie the same year she did that first really bad Suicide Squad movie.
Did she?
wildly distinct. She won an Oscar the same year she was in the garbage ass Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was so good
Which
because
also
like
won an Oscar.
the biggest fucking scene out of that movie that people love her in was like he gets to this point where he ends up cheating on her, and he gets this other chick pregnant, and the chick dies in the hospital giving birth. So she chooses to be a mom to this kid that she doesn't have to. So fucking kudos to you, obviously. But like he goes on this whole thing about how he feels that he's just been stuck standing here, da 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 da. And like, I mean, dude, she is like full on tears streaming down her face, everything else. And she's all like, where the fuck do you, like, this is her first time talking back to him. Where the fuck do you think I've been? I've been right here standing right fucking with you. You didn't think I had dreams of my own? You didn't think I had shit I wanted to do with my life? All this shit. And like, she just goes off. And it was such a fucking great performance. I love her. But I've seen her in a couple other things too that I really like her in as well. But yeah, I hate Waller so much. But I'm like, I love this actress, but I fucking hate Waller so much.
I mean,
but she plays her well.
Right, she's not supposed to be likable.
She's not supposed to be
right?
likable. Exactly.
She's a bad lady.
Exactly. She's not supposed to be likable, so she does a very good job at making you hate that character. That's what her job is. So kudos to you again. Great acting. She's fucking fantastic. I love her.
And good for her getting like big budget movie money, like because you know, like Fences is not like a huge project necessarily. For
sure. So, and there, literally the entire fucking movie takes place at this house. Like, that's the front yard, the backyard, the house. Like, that's literally, I think there's one scene where she goes and meets him at his job and talks to him at his job for like 5 minutes. So they had to shoot a brick wall where they're both up against a brick wall talking. Other than that, the entire fucking movie is shot at the fucking house. So, but yeah, it's a fucking great movie. But yeah, so Suicide Squad, like I said, amazing compared to the first one. Yeah. James Gunn did a great job. I mean, I'll say this. So first off, spoilers going into the movie, obviously, or going into this review show for anybody who doesn't know. Spoilers.
Also, spoilers for Fences.
Yeah, I guess spoiler for Fences. If you haven't fucking watched Fences yet, you should. It's fucking great. It's on one of the streaming services. I don't know which one, but it's there. I did not expect that first team to just get wiped the fuck out. That caught me off guard because watching the trailers leading up, like I thought, like for sure the Javelin guy and fucking what's his face,
Davidson. Or
not Pete Davidson. Well, I would like to say yes to Nathan Fillion, but I felt the character that they put him in the trailer, I kind of felt that character wasn't going to make it long because it's kind of a dumb character.
Boomerang.
No, the other one, the fucking one they started with, the fucking who plays Yondu. I can't remember that fucking actor's name.
Michael Rooker.
There you go. Yes, him. Yes. I expected that his character was going to be around for a long time for sure. The fucking orange chick. They definitely expected her to be around for a while because she's not normal.
Mongal.
I thought she was gonna be around for a minute, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
She's confusing. That's the weirdest choice in this movie because she's like a space warlord who should be like in Earth prison.
Yeah. So
shouldn't be making deals to get time off her Earth prison sentence.
Yeah.
Beneath her.
That's fair. But yeah, it was man, dude. I don't think there's enough CGI in the world to make TDK look cool. Like, I just don't. I just don't. Like, he looks so dumb, but I mean, you could tell Nathan Fillion had a fun time doing it, though.
Right, I mean,
like, he looks so fucking stupid. Whenever he's, like, sitting there and he's, like, trying to control it, and he's just like, And then when they're shooting his arms, and he's just over there, like, fucking seizuring on the ground, she's going, like, my arms! And that's just like, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, my God.
I mean, they made him even... I don't know, they tried to make him look like more serious in the comic book version. But, like... No.
Pete Davidson dying right away, I was okay with.
I mean, for sure that was happening.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was, too. I don't really...
The thing was, like, he was off SNL for, like, 2 weeks, so he couldn't have been gone filming that long.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
I don't really hate Pete Davidson at all, but I don't know.
But he's a perfect guy to be the guy who's there and sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
He was just like ruining the whole thing.
Yeah, the king of Staten Island. Yeah,
Be the Slipknot of this movie.
There you go. So yeah, there were a couple of them I was kind of surprised by, and then I was really surprised by some of the ones who actually made it. But like fucking polka dot guy.
I sort of knew from trailers or whatever, loosely, that this was happening. That like there was a first team, and then there would be another team, kind of. So I figured most of those first people had to die.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting Boomerang to die because he was
because he's like a big deal.
Came back, like immediately. It's kind of a trick, like the movie plays on you to like be like, oh, watch out, anyone could die anytime, and then it's just all these people die at the start, and everyone that you see in the second group survives until the last like 10 minutes.
Until last 10 minutes. That's fair. Yeah,
roughly. So it's like it creates this tension for you, like, oh shit, people can get blown up whenever, but like it doesn't really happen.
I feel like they could have added like 3 more people to the roster, especially with the fact that Harley Quinn was missing like the majority of the fucking movie.
Right.
And from the team at least, she still got her spots for sure. Like her single fucking scenes with the fucking dude, like whenever she fucking kills him, that was so goddamn funny. When she was just like, I always promised myself that after my last relationship, if I started dating a guy and I really, really liked him, that if there were any red flags, I would do the right, sensible thing, and I would kill him. And I was just like, that's fucking hilarious. And then she's like, now I know what you're thinking. Harley, why did you have to kill me? Why couldn't you just leave? And the reason why is because then you would be yelling at me. I'd be like, stop yelling at me. I'm standing right. Like, just how quickly she starts going down, like, that path that, fucking the Joker's basically fucking broken her into, where she's fucking psychotic. So, yeah, it was fucking hilarious. She does Margot Robbie does a great job at Harley Quinn. I like her Harley Quinn a lot.
I mean, there's a reason she's the one person they keep around from that first movie, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Boomerang and, Rick Flag accepted, I guess.
Yeah. Which, that was what it was. It was alright.
It made him a lot more appealing in this movie, I felt. Like, in that first movie, he was, like, really boring, and in this movie, I felt bad that when he died.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wouldn't have cared in that first movie.
That's fair. I'll say that.
He went out in a good situation. It was, like, a cool fight.
Yeah.
Like an earned sort of thing.
The one character I wanted to like and fucking couldn't, fucking Peacekeeper. I wanted to like Peacekeeper, yeah, because John Cena, dude. Like,
I thought Cena, man, he is.
Dude, he
is doing the thing he's doing in this movie.
Yes,
right?
Dude.
He doesn't have like a ton of acting range, but he's funny at this kind of thing.
Yeah, like, he did really, really good. I mean, whenever he needed to be funny, he was funny. Like the whole thing with like, hey, you forgot to get the rat one with the fucking shots that they all took. Fucking stuff like that. Like, he was funny when he needed to be funny. He was serious when he needed to be serious. And then whenever it was like, he was funny when he needed to be funny. He was kind of just doing his shit, being the strong man. That's what I'm there for. But whenever he needed to be serious, I mean, like, that last scene with him and fucking, what's his face? The dude. Yeah, no. Flag. Yeah. That last scene with him and Flag, like, that felt real. That felt intense, where he was all like, please don't make me kill you for this. You're a fucking good soldier, but I have to do my job. This is what I was hired to do. I have to do my job. Like, that seemed convincing to me. That was a good fucking scene. Great acting by John Cena.
And that was the character is kind of absurd in the way he has his lines like, I will kill as many people as I need to create peace.
Or the line where it's like, if there were nothing but dicks covering this island, I would please all the dicks in the name of justice and liberty.
But like in that bit with Rick Flag, like they made it emotionally serious, and like it worked, I think.
Because at that point they had a relationship.
Yeah.
You actually felt like they were friends. Yeah. It was done. I actually like how the beginning of that fight was through the reflection of the helmet. I thought that was a really nice take.
Yeah, that was a really neat thing.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice take on that. Yeah, man, that fight was good. I mean, Idris Elba's gonna fucking kill it in anything he's in. Like, I mean, it's fucking hard for me to fucking watch anything that he's in and be like, wow, dude, I love him in anything he's in. He's so fucking good.
I'm stoked for him to be Knuckles in the next Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Is that actually? I'd heard. That's
official.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Absolutely, I am, dude. Absolutely. Idris Elba's fucking Knuckles. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
That's really good.
I'm fucking super pumped about that. Yeah. What was it? There's this show. Oh, the MODOK show that came to Hulu. Did you ever actually get around to watching that?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's so hard, or not it's so hard because I've already watched it. It was so hard for me to watch it because the son is voiced by the same guy that does Sonic.
Oh, it's Ben Schwartz, yeah.
Yeah, and you just hear Sonic the entire time he's talking, and I was like, oh my god, dude, it was fucking throwing me. I mean, it's it's funny for me to say that because obviously Patton Oswalt fucking plays fucking MODOK, and it's like he's fucking been in literally like so many things, but like Patton Oswalt has played so many characters that you would just see Patton Oswalt being in real life. Like whenever he was that fucking one guy on fucking Parks and Rec where he was just refused to let the traditions go. It was like, yeah, the like nerdy
with Sonic,
geeky,
it's not that like I'm seeing, MODOK's son is played by Sonic. It's, Sonic's played by John Ralphio.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation.
That's true. That's fair. I did like John Ralphio a lot. John Ralphio was the shit, dude. He was so fucking annoying, but he was the shit, dude. Money, please!
One of the funniest people in the world.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's fucking hilarious. But, so yeah, I mean, the shark guy, at first I didn't care for him, but he came around. He was pretty fucking funny near the end. Have you seen
the Harley Quinn cartoon they do?
No, I've not watched that, no.
That's a very different King Shark, and probably a better one, but this was also... That King Shark walks more and is like human intelligence, and this one was like... Not. Groot-esque.
Yeah, that was my biggest problem with him, is that he had like a very Groot-esque, and it was like, let's... Like, if him and Weasel would have been, like, together the entire time, like, all right, James, come on, dude. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
It becomes, like, 20% better, like, because it's alone doing the voice. Just, like, that's so ridiculous that it becomes...
Yeah, that they got him to come in and just do the fucking... We need... What is it with getting, like, these fucking big-ass muscular guys to come do the fucking, one-word voices for these fucking characters?
Yeah, you can get Vin Diesel just be an actual character as a person.
Yeah. Bird. Yeah. Book. Friend. Like
that, yeah. I don't know, he's fun.
Yeah, he was a fun character. There were parts about it that were, like, really, really good. The fighting scenes were so fucking good. So good. I enjoyed every single one of them, especially, even though it looked fucking stupid with all the fucking flowers and shit coming out, the whole Harley Quinn, her breaking out, was probably one of the best fucking fighting scenes of the entire movie. It was so good, especially when she picked up the javelin.
I love that she kept that javelin the whole time.
I do too. My favorite line from her, honestly, probably my favorite line from the fucking movie, is whenever she has the javelin and the fucking flag's like, what do you have that for? And she's all like, I don't know, I'm waiting for God to tell me. And Idris Elba's all like, Jesus Christ. And she's like, or him, either one, I'm fine with either. I was like, no fucking way, dude. Oh my God. But yeah, no, she had a lot of really good scenes. Her fucking choking that dude out with just her legs was fucking awesome. Completely getting out of her handcuffs just shows how good she is completely all the way around. That was fucking awesome. Yeah, I mean, the thing that was funny to me was they could have used this for like an actual startup for like the beginning of a fucking an actual Justice League movie, because that is the actual first enemy the Justice League ever fought Starro, in the comics. So
there's just an element to it where like Zack Snyder would never touch Starro.
Yeah,
that dude looks absurd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a thing from the comics, and Zack Snyder does not want things that look fun.
Yeah, so
does not want bright colors.
And it was a good enemy. It was a fucking good enemy. I mean, whenever he would fucking lift up his fucking arm and shoot all those little ones out, I was just like, fucking A, dude. Shit's like nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's a very silly looking thing, but it's like dark, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they made him darker in this too. In the comics, I don't think he kills the people that he takes control of.
Yeah, that was nuts. Fucking basically eats their fucking face off and
Jazzy thing about this movie versus Guardians is that James Gunn gets to do all the blood stuff he wants to do that he did before he got.
Yeah, that's what happens whenever Disney's not controlling your wallet. So you can kind of do things like that.
Just real gross stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fucking movie. Like I said, I definitely liked it. I definitely appreciated it more than the first one for sure. It would have been cool to have Will Smith in there as well. Sucks they couldn't get that to work out.
Yeah, I mean, well, then they wouldn't have had Bloodsport.
I was under the impression they were going to have both.
Oh, no. So in the original script, it was just Deadshot. And they couldn't get Will Smith, and they were going to recast him as Idris Elba, still as Deadshot. And they were like, well, let's not make it so we can't bring Will Smith back. Let's just make him a different, very similar character.
Right.
That's why it's Bloodsport.
Yeah.
It's basically a script written for Deadshot anyway.
Gotcha.
So, I mean,
okay.
It's the same story of just like he's got a daughter and they're using his daughter against him. And
yeah, that makes sense. I did like the interaction between him and his daughter. That was really good at the jail. That was really, really good. Yeah. I just love her. She's so like, nice way to be a dad. He's like, I didn't want to fucking be a dad. And he's like, and then your mom sprung the fucking paternity test on me. And then she's all like, oh, fuck you. He's like, no, fuck you. Fuck you! Fuck you! I was just like, dude, this is fucking great, dude.
I think that was the difference between them, I think, is they made Will Smith a little more, like, good as a dad. And they made Idris Elba just shitty.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had a lot of fun playing that character, too. He was pretty badass. I liked the end scene where fucking there were so many of those fucking little minions on him, and he was just pulling every fucking gadget he had out, and man, that was fucking cool as shit. Seeing him go through his whole fucking arsenal.
The gun he had was cool.
Well, I'm talking about after that, whenever he was fighting just the minions. At first, he was doing that to do the gun, but after that, it's like he pulled out like the small gun, shot, and somebody knocked that out of his hand, pulled out the sword, fight that, pulled out the flamethrower. Like he was just going through his whole arsenal until he had fucking nothing. That shit was awesome. And the rat shit, that was funny.
Ratcatcher, I liked her a lot. I was very concerned that she would die, and then I was happy she didn't.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Oh, and then obviously the whole fucking smaller bullet thing, that was pretty fucking funny.
That was a good callback.
That was a good callback right there.
Great.
Yeah, he's just like, how? Smaller bullets. I was like, no fucking way. Dude, that gun that Peacekeeper used was absurdly huge. Like, it was fucking stupid how long the barrel on that fucking thing was. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure the gun he was using originally was like a fucking Desert Eagle, which is automatically like one of the fucking biggest goddamn pistols out there anyway.
Yeah.
And fucking had like a whole goddamn barrel attachment on it as well to make it like fucking 4 feet tall. I was like, Jesus Christ. It's like the Buster Swords of fucking pistols.
It was good.
Let's see, we had the Thinker. He was okay.
Yeah, he was in there. Yeah, ultimately pretty minor, kind of. Didn't get to do much.
I really liked the club scene. The club scene was really good, where they were actually all having fun, being a group, and then the following fucking breakout scene of the fucking prison caravan. That was pretty cool too. I like that a lot as well. Just the way that like they set it all up, where they were talking about fucking killing somebody in the one hit, and it's like, well, amateurs, they don't think it's possible, but really. So that was pretty cool. I don't know. There were a lot of really, really good scenes. Overall, I would definitely be willing to go watch some more DC movies if we had some more directors like James Gunn.
They should definitely let him do I mean, it's not clear, I guess, because of the streaming numbers or whatever. I don't know, but didn't get to box office, so I don't know if this will turn out financially successful.
So we started talking about this a little bit. We didn't actually go into it like I wanted to on the podcast. So if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, we just did a podcast, which for you guys would have came out the Monday before this, where James Gunn is making an argument that the streaming is healthier for movies, and it's going in the right direction, where you have a lot of actors and actresses who are going the opposite way, especially Scarlett Johansson with her lawsuit against Disney right now. That might be different just based on whatever the verbiage was in her contract.
Right. I mean, that's not.
I'm not throwing them all in the same. Yeah.
She just wants to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah.
If she wouldn't have been affected by numbers whatsoever, this probably wouldn't even be a fucking lawsuit being had right now. So, but once again, I don't know. All that will come out at some point whenever the fucking lawsuit actually goes through and all that shit proceeds, whatever. Fucking months down the road, 8-9 months down the road. Yeah. But I agree with what he was saying. So what he said in his article is that people need to realize that movie sales have been down for a while, with 2017 being the absolute lowest for movie sales ever. And the way that movie sales have come back slightly was just by adding more and more stuff. That idea works to an extent to where sooner or later it's going to be too expensive to go see a movie. And then you're just going to end up kicking yourself in the ass out anyway. So think about it. Back in the day, let's say fucking 2012, to go see a movie, it was movie, popcorn, drinks, maybe food, maybe, very maybe, and candy. To where now you've got popcorn, drinks, fucking dining, candy, drinks, and actual alcoholic beverages, like the whole shebang. And that's because they needed more stuff to keep people coming in the door. But if you think about it, like if you're wanting to go out to the movie with friends and actually like make a night of it, it's like, hey, let's get to the movie early. Let's get some cocktails, drink, have a good time. They'll have one of those movies playing in there. We can watch that. After that, we can order our food, get it ready for the movie, then grab our food, grab our drinks, grab our snacks. That's a fucking $80 per person night out right there. Already. I mean, to be fair, you're getting a lot of stuff in, yes, but then it's like, man, dude, remember back whenever I could spend like $14 to go see a movie, and that was it? Like, I'd go fucking popcorn, drink, $14, everything, good to go.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's
you can only do that for so long.
Drink, right?
Exactly. But that business model will only last for so long, because sooner or later it will be too expensive to go to the fucking movies, and it's
damaged the stuff between, like, for a huge action movie, like, sure, like, experience of the screen in a way, but like for a more mid-tier thing, lower budget, like the experience of being in a theater is less relevant, so it damages the returns on those movies.
Right.
They're getting like priced out of the market entirely.
So, one, that, and then two, you have the problem, which comes with everything, which is the human race as a race is a shitty race. Like, there's just shitty people. You're going to have people who are going to get over intoxicated and be loud. Think about the uptick that has been reported of like people having to get thrown out of movies, of people getting in fights in movies and stuff like that ever since they started adding alcohol. You know, like you're bringing in a whole nother kind of crowd of people, and that's gonna fucking happen. And you know, it's a lot easier to be like, hey, fucking the bar's goddamn like just loaded tonight. We're not going to get any good service. Why don't we just go drink at the fucking bar at the movie theater? Because everybody's going to be watching their fucking movie anyway. I'm actually hanging out at the fucking bar. And then worst case scenario, they tell us we got to fucking watch a movie. We'll just go fucking pick whatever fucking movie's out, dude. I can see myself even fucking saying that. Like, yeah, we'll just go fucking pick a fucking random. Who cares? We're already there. We'll fucking watch a movie. Get drunk, watch a movie, have a good time. Yeah, I might be having a good time. But for the people around me who aren't inebriated are like, this dude's fucking, I'm breathing loud. I'm fucking talking. I'm not noticing how loud I actually am. Like, yeah, it fucking has definitely hurt the business. So, and he was talking about how 2017 being the lowest overall. He's like, and that's before the pandemic. Yeah. A lot of people really don't think fucking movies are honestly going to make a fucking comeback as far as theaters go once COVID ever fucking settles the fuck down. Well, they say once COVID settles down, but now we got the fucking Delta variant rampaging through fucking everywhere. So, once again, it's one of those things where it's like, I kind of agree with him. I mean, in order for movies to not die, which wouldn't happen, but in order for movies to not die, theaters just might have to fucking go. Like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, and I'll say this because we have a range of different people with different fucking views. One, on the as a cast, and two, people who watch us. I'm not talking shit about anybody's safety level whatsoever whenever it comes to COVID. If you're too scared to go see a movie in theaters and you'd rather wait till it comes to your house, by all means do you. I've completely support your decision. It's completely fine, regardless how I feel about it, how I think about it, whether you're vaccinated, unvaccinated. I don't give a shit about any of that. But my point here is that whenever it comes to these cells, and they come to look at these numbers, I mean, this is where my confusion comes into play with it. I guess I should start here. You have Disney and you have HBO. Whenever stuff comes to HBO, we get to watch that right off the bat. Disney charges for theirs. I don't understand how HBO will keep their business model going when someone else is profiting clearly more than HBO is.
Yeah.
And that's where I get really concerned on it, because like, and even if they did go with the Disney model, I wouldn't be against it. I mean, it would suck because right now I'm liking the fact that I can watch a brand new fucking movie for free because I already have HBO, so I can just, oh yeah, that's sweet. But once again, then we go back to, remember when I only had to pay $14 to go see a movie? Well, guess what? I have a significant other. So $14, if you look at it, $15, $30 to go see a movie, $30 to buy the fucking movie for me to watch it at home, and then just fucking order pizza or something, or fucking order something off of DoorDash to come. Same shit. It's just like going to the movie. I have a home bar. Same shit. And guess what? I'm not going to bother fucking anybody. I can talk about the movie. I can pause the movie. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. You know what I mean?
I think it's HBO is playing from behind because they're against Disney. They
That's
have
true.
to like attract people. It's why like Xbox Game Pass is so good compared to anything PlayStation does, because Xbox is trying to come from behind, sorta, and they have to make a more compelling case to get people to sign up for their things.
Right.
So, like, this may not be forever. At some point, HBO might do the same model Disney's doing.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I think they're going to have to. I mean,
yeah.
at some point, because I mean, right now it's like, what, $14 a month to have fucking HBO Max? So,
Yeah.
and you don't have to pay for any early screenings. So, but like I said, I do believe, I think James Gunn is onto something. I think movies have been, our theaters specifically have been dying for a while now. They've been adding all this stuff, which obviously brought in new customers, not necessarily returning customers, but new customers as far as people who don't normally go do the movie scene, Now that you can have that cool night out and get a couple drinks and go see a movie at the same time. And I see the appeal. But once again, we've seen a spike in other numbers with, you know, people getting overserved. That's going to happen. I mean, you've got inexperience from work staff. I mean, think about the people who fucking work at the movie theater. You literally went from like fucking popping popcorn to now you're fucking serving restaurant style food and also having to fucking serve alcoholic beverages. It's like, what the fuck?
I mean, they must just hire people who know how to do that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Or there has to be training, but I mean, you're talking to somebody who watches every fucking episode of Bar Rescue, dude. There's 1 out of fucking 10 bars, guarantee you, those motherfuckers don't know anything on what they're doing as far as serving levels or any of that shit.
Oh, totally.
I would be amazed if I didn't walk in to these fucking movie theaters and order a fucking cocktail and that shit wasn't completely off balance. Like, completely off balance.
I think it's just the built-in limiting factor of, people in a movie have to then come back out and get, like, there's such a step to do it.
Which would make you want to actually sell more watered down versus actually off-balanced, or, you know, an actual, preferably a balanced cocktail. But, you know, that seems to be very hard for fucking anybody to do these days. So, you know, is what it is. But... So yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with him. I think that this new, I don't think this option should go away. And as much as me saying that, I know kind of sticks the nail in the coffin for fucking theaters. Not me specifically as a person saying that, but like if we move that way to where this becomes a normal thing, even outside of the pandemic, that's not going to be good for theaters. Because like, my biggest issue was like whenever theaters tried to fucking take a stand and be like, oh, well, we're just going to refuse to play any fucking, I think it was like Universal Studios, I think is who they attacked. Like, we're not playing any more Universal movies at our theaters. I think it was like AMC or somebody said that. And it's like, I mean, okay. Like, you think Universal gives a shit? Like, okay, sweet. Like, how many people you have showing up at your fucking, I mean, because I know for a fact, I mean, we've seen so many. It's an unprecedented time. We've seen so many businesses adapt. And one of the things, like for instance, all right, before the pandemic happened, a common date night, it was like every 2 weeks, maybe sometimes even every week, me and my girlfriend would go out to Texas Roadhouse. I love a steak done well. I live in an apartment complex. I'm not able to have a grill. I'm not going down on a community grill that's disgusting as shit, not protected from the weather at all, and that people treat and abuse like fucking crazy and trying to fucking cook some steaks on that. I'm not doing it. So I'll go out and I'll order me a fucking steak because I normally like to make my own fucking steaks. Texas Roadhouse, place I fucking love. We would go there all the fucking time. They've adapted to where now they will completely prep your steak for you and not cook it. Have everything, the rubs, everything that you need, so that way you can do it at home. And it's a whole to-go kit. All the directions, like, hey, you want it this, you need to fucking put it on a pan this high, fucking this much time, did it literally step by fucking step. So we've seen different businesses also take these same routes of like, this is what we need to do to survive during this pandemic. Because this, thank God, it's only a pandemic and it hasn't upgraded to an endemic yet. Fucking Jesus. But no one's going to say this is going to be the only time this happens. I mean, we never fucking know. Fucking coronavirus could fucking hopefully die out at some point, and then fucking the next fucking thing shows up. You never fucking know. I mean, it's not like we're ever going to stop getting new fucking viruses and shit. It's going to keep happening. I mean, how do you think the fucking flu got here in the first place? And now every year it's like, oh, it's flu season. Well, sooner or later it's going to be like, well, it's COVID season. Yeah, it's COVID season, so be careful. Make sure you got your fucking booster shot. It's COVID season. It's the same shit. It sucks, but it's fucking part of life we inhabit with this world with thousands of other fucking beings, and shit happens, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, not running down conspiracy fucking rabbit holes here. But, so with that being said, we've seen all these other places try to adapt. And I saw movie theaters doing this too, where it was like, hey, you gonna watch a movie tonight? Order something in on Netflix. Maybe watch something on good old Hulu. Feel free to drive by and pick up a bucket of popcorn. It's like,
right,
you know what I mean? It's like there's no, in my opinion, theaters cannot survive in a fucking pre-apocalyptic world, if you will. Like, it's just not viable. It's just not viable. And like I said, if the numbers are still strong, like, yeah, of course, we get closer and closer to fucking, I don't know. I feel like there's things that they could do to curb the pirating better than they have. Like, obviously, they have the paywall. I don't know if Disney does it. I know Netflix has it to where, like, if I have Netflix going and I pull up a screen capture, it just shows black. Like, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
there are people to find ways to work around.
I'm sure, but I mean, if that's the only thing they have, it's a lot easier to like just keep trying to work on that specific project. You know what I mean? Versus like whenever you've got it coming out on a streaming service and you got it coming out from a movie theater, it's going through so many different hands. You know what I mean? For the movie theater, like for them to release that worldwide, it's going through so many different hands, and trying to get it to not be pirated seems like it would be a lot harder of a job that way than it would if it was just coming out streaming wise, in my opinion. Because there's so much more of a tunnel of this is where the movie's going and then we control it versus, all right, fucking throw it out to everybody and now let's try to do what we can to fucking curve down the millions of fucking pirating websites out there. I mean,
yeah. I think the complication there is when we were just doing theaters, there's a quality difference between watching a pirated thing going to a theater, because one of them's in a theater and one of them's on a computer. But if it's just streaming, then it's functionally identical. So why would I pay? Kind of, right? It's like, even if I knew how to pirate at the time, like there's a merit to going to a theater. There's just nothing that you get from streaming it.
Yeah, and you know, I used to say the same thing, but now, like I said, now that we're getting to this part where like sooner or later, you know, you got to realistically look at that night out, at what that night out is. It's like, is it worth going to the theater anymore? Like I said, and with everything that's constantly going on, I mean, we've had fucking theater shootings, we've had fucking all the bullshit of having to deal now. Because it's not so much of just like, now I have to worry about me and the rest of the other people in there. It's now I have to worry about anybody that's outside that wants to fucking do something, which I'm not too overly prepared or paranoid about that, but it is still an uneasy feeling knowing how easy it was for that to be pulled off. Super uneasy feeling. That,
sure.
And then 2, now I have a bunch of inebriated people potentially watching the same movie as me. So now I have to deal with that aspect, whether some assholes being loud. I mean, we already had people still being fucking assholes and being on their fucking phone in fucking theaters and shit like that. Like, those were already pre-existing.
Before you go to the movie.
Exactly. But now we're literally okaying it versus, like, it was a lot easier to spot it off from the bat. Now we're encouraging that behavior. So, yeah. It just, I don't know. It's a fucking rabbit hole, dude.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is, at least, well, geez, before the extra wave came along, like, people wanted just to make things feel like normal again, in a way where there'd be a lot of demand for a movie theater, because, like, oh, hey, that's the thing from the before times. I want to reclaim that feeling.
That's
like,
fair.
I was stoked to go be in the theater for the first time in a year and a half, just to wash away the cats. That had been the last thing I'd seen in a theater.
Yeah, that's
like, I needed another thing to replace that. It was just like, yeah, there's some desire to live life like this hadn't happened.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I didn't go too crazy. I mean, for the majority of this pandemic, I've done pretty well at self-quarantining. I mean, I went kayaking a couple times, but once again, I'm out on the lake by my fucking self. I mean, even if there are other people out on the lake, once again, well beyond 6 feet at that fucking point. You know what I mean? So there's that. But at the same time, I think I've only, as far as like an actual going out, I've only went to a movie once since the fucking pandemic. Because I went and saw Sonic before the pandemic officially like happened. It was like in the midst of it happening. Like, we actually debated whether we were going to go see the movie or not, because it was like COVID was like in America, but it wasn't as widespread as it was yet.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we'll go, we'll wear a mask, and we'll stay away from everybody. We'll sit in the far back, and we went and saw Sonic. And it was a good time. But yeah, I went and saw fucking Mugen Train, Demon Slayer movie in theaters, and there was like 6 people in the theater. So I wasn't really too over, and plus they were already like social distancing the seats at that point. So, you know, it's like, hey, yeah, it's almost a full show, so good thing you're buying your tickets. There's like 8 other people in the theater besides you. Pick the only 2 seats that are left, because like every fucking section is basically 2 people per section. I mean, that's basically what it was. It's like 2 people in the top row, 2 people in the next one, 2 people in the next one. It wasn't even that. It's 2 people in the top row, then they skip a row, and then 2 people in that row.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was that social distance. So, which, well, good on them doing what they're doing to protect their fucking customers. I mean, can't fucking blame them. But once again, I can't imagine the return on the fill up of that low of people, and that's considered a full theater.
Oh, right. No, that was, desperation, doing whatever they could to get anything.
Like, there's no way that's covering the electric bill to run that fucking room with that movie and that surround sound and everything else. Zero chance. So, but yeah, I could see that argument being made, that the desperation of wanting things to be back to normal and feeling like normal, that theaters could have made a comeback. I don't think it would have been sustainable, though. I think that if, let's say, Delta never happened, I don't think it would have lasted longer than the end of 2022. I think things would have made a big dip again, because more things would have became normal. People would have been going back to restaurants, going back to bars, hanging out on beaches, fucking lakes, whatever. Yeah, all that shit, fucking concerts, everything. Like, there's just, in my opinion, as the times have gone through so many different changes, and there's so many more different things that we do for a total of entertainment now, I think a movie theater is way lower on that spectrum of things to do on like a Friday night or a Saturday night. Like, I think there's a lot more shit going on, especially whenever you live in heavy populated cities like I do. There's a lot more, like, well, fuck that. Let's go downtown. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Like, there's a lot more stuff to do rather than, like, fucking let's go watch a movie. Like, I used to be a big, big, big theater fan. Like, let's go to the movies. Let's go to the movies. Let's go to the movies. And then, like, the only push that I've had for that recently was to go see all the Marvel movies midnight release. Like, other than that, sure. I can't remember the last time I've actually talked to a group of friends and, like, set up a time for us to all go see a movie in the theaters. You know what I mean? Besides Marvel. And that's because like everybody always wanted to go, as we talked about on the podcast, everybody wanted to go see it with me because I could answer all the fucking questions at the end of the goddamn movie. So then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go see a movie. Chris, are you gonna go see a movie? Yeah, you know I'm gonna go see it. Fucking midnight release. All right, cool. Buy our tickets and we'll pay you back. Like fucking yeah, it was always like that. So,
and I wonder if that'll be a generational thing too, where younger people who grew up with streaming as always an option, kind of, or like or so will not have that appeal to them.
That's something else that he touched on, because I mean you got to look at it this way. I mean fucking the generation directly, I mean it's technically our generation, but I feel like it's the younger part of our generation. I mean they grow up watching what fucking Twitch and YouTube are their main fucking sources of content. Like it's crazy to me. I mean I remember one of my relationships, her little brother, I was just amazed that that's all he would watch all day is just Twitch. It's like I grew up in a household where I didn't want to watch somebody play the video game because I wanted to fucking play the video game. Like I still, being a Twitch streamer myself, is very hard for me to watch other people fucking play. Normally the only time I do is whenever it's fucking my friends and shit and I'm trying to show them some support. Like I'll see Cantor jump on, so I'll fucking throw my fucking view in there so he gets a view and I'll talk to him for a little bit. But it's more about me having the conversation with him and telling him he sucks at playing zombies, you know? That's where I get that fun from. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's nuts. But I see his viewpoint, and I think that it's going to go that route. And if it does, it's going to be interesting to see not only HBO have to change their game plan and their strategy book, but who else is also going to jump on this bandwagon, you know? I mean, somebody who I don't think deserves to jump on this bandwagon because I pay enough for their fucking service as it is fucking Netflix. Swear to God, if I get another goddamn email alert, they're fucking up in their price, fucking Netflix can go. Like, at this point, Netflix can fucking go. You're getting to that part where, like, I could go sign up to get cable, and it's going to be, like, fucking $35 a month, and you motherfuckers are already charging me, like, $22. Like, we getting there, fam. We getting there. Like,
Netflix can't get away with that kind of because they don't have anything
anymore, no.
Paying for. I mean, like, they don't have an IP that's, like, huge enough.
Like, at first, it was like they had their own shows and their own movies they're coming out with, and now it's like, all right, dude, well, we gave you all this fucking money. I mean, fucking A, we've been talking about Stranger Things Season 4 for like a fucking 2 years now. Like, I mean, what else you got? Like, something. Like, you should be coming out with a lot more than you fucking are. So, I don't know. I could cut that one. I mean, at this point, to me, the best bang for your buck is fucking just getting Amazon Prime Video and then just fucking getting the services through there that you want. Fucking HBO, Showtime, Stars. Like, I probably, in total, just off of that, I probably pay somewhere around like $30, $35 a month, and I have like literally every fucking channel through fucking Amazon Prime. Fucking that you can have. Comedy Central, all that shit. Well, like, you can't have them anymore, but that was so fucking weird. I literally got an email and it's like, yeah, by the way, your Comedy Central subscription ran out. And I was like, okay, I didn't cancel it. I know I have money, so, and Comedy Central was like $2 a month. I was like, the fuck? And I go, look, Comedy Central's just not a thing on there anymore. I think it's like just delved out normally through Amazon Prime now. I guess they couldn't justify.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it having its own thing.
HBO,
yeah, pulled
some of that stuff in.
So
their thing.
I mean, I'm fine with it. It's fine. I mean, fucking $2 back a month, I guess. Whatever. But, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah. But, yeah, Suicide Squad. It's a good movie.
Right. So, like, the question is, beyond all the hating about that, is just, does Warner Brothers think enough people watch this thing on streaming to justify doing another one?
That's a good question.
That's where it'll come out, like.
Yeah,
and hopefully, yes. Because, like, this was good.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a perfect way of, like, fucking James Gunn having to put his money where his mouth is. I mean, if you're the fucking advocate for this, let's see how well your fucking movie did, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's just...
Everybody on the other side of that argument, I could see them making that. Be like, well, let's fucking see how well your fucking movie did then. So...
Yeah, so, yeah, we'll see. I hope he gets to do more. You know, theoretically, they'll let Margot Robbie do some other Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah,
aside from Suicide Squad, too.
I mean, so far, everything I've seen from her is that she enjoys playing the role. I don't see her going away anytime soon. Yeah, they want to do a Gotham
City Sirens thing, Catwoman. And
yeah. Well, I know she hardcore wants to do the whole, like, Poison Ivy coming into the movies, and then she also wants to do the universe where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are a thing as well.
Right.
So...
That's a big thing in the cartoon too.
Is it?
They like that.
Yeah. So I know that's a thing in the comics at certain points, but normally Harley Quinn's with. I would like to see her more with the Joker, and the only reason why I point that out was because I would like to see a good Joker again. So.
Sure, yeah, I would like to see her not at all with the Joker
that we saw in Suicide Squad
already.
Yeah, that was terrible.
No. Yeah.
To where, like, if we had, like, Joker from, like, Snyder Cut at the end of the fucking movie, like, I like that was fucking Joker to me. Versus this fucking Joker's about to drop the next biggest fucking hottest mixtape fucking 2022. It's like, Jesus, man. Come out looking like
fucking...
see the
music video they did for that movie?
No.
So Joker's in it with Rick Ross and, like, Skrillex.
Jesus Christ.
You're on a speedboat. It's weird.
I was about to say, I mean, dude came out looking like the fucking next Tekashi 6ix9ine, so...
Yeah, he looks like straight up garbage.
Yeah,
it's terrible. It's really bad. And Harley Quinn is still the Harley Quinn of that Joker. She still has all those tattoos.
Yeah.
They took away a couple of them this time that like were worse.
Yep.
Oh.
That's got to be interesting though. Like the Joker has a. I mean, no, it would have to be. I'd have to use the words way bigger fan base than Harley Quinn. Not saying she doesn't have a fan base. She has a huge fan base herself. But the Joker is like fucking iconic to DC Comics. Like, I mean, there's no Batman without mentioning the Joker. Like, Batman exists in a world without Harley Quinn. Batman doesn't exist in a world without the Joker. Like, they don't exist in the world without each other. That's the whole Joker's kit, you know? To know that
of course,
you
they did that Joker movie with no Batman, too, so, like...
Not true. Because Bruce Wayne is in it at the end.
As a child, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, technically, he's still there. So,
like, yeah, they gave him a
setting
movie,
it up. It's
better
setting it up.
version of him.
Right. But to play literally easily, not even arguably, easily the number one villain in DC, and the girlfriend of that villain becomes more iconic in the fucking cinema role than the villain that you portrayed. That's gotta sting a little bit, dude.
I don't know. They threw him to the wolves. Like, oh, he was the first person to do it since, Heath Ledger. So you're like, let's follow. How do you follow up Heath Ledger? By just tanking it. You're just getting the worst one.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was fucking terrible, dude. I mean, Heath Ledger did a great job. Heath Ledger did a fucking great job. I was actually watching. I don't know how big you are into this channel or not, but especially when I was on reactions, the biggest fucking thing that we were into was the epic rap battles. And they did
knowledge of it, really.
No, okay.
I'm aware of it. I understand what an epic rap battle is.
Got you. So they did Joker versus Pennywise, and fucking that was one of Pennywise's lines. Was the only person that's dying to play you as Heath Ledger. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good line. But yeah. It sucks, dude, because I like the Joker. I don't see how the Joker can't exist in this world with Margot Robbie anymore. Her Harley Quinn, she can't.
They're basically not going to have a Batman in this universe anymore either.
Which also sucks. Like, I mean, I don't get me wrong. Once again, I like the route we're going with these specific characters because we're getting to see. It's always a good thing to be able to see more of the universe. I don't want to be in a situation where like we're always so closed off in the universe that it's always going to be Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and fucking Cyborg and Green Lantern and that's it versus like being able to expand, and now we're seeing shit like
also they should give Cyborg more than one part of one movie or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he deserves a lot more. I mean, they all deserve it's just like I said. They did we're going to try to pull a Marvel, but go the opposite direction. Where like Marvel's like, let's do independent movies and build up to the Avengers. And they're like, let's do the Justice League, and then we'll fucking do independent movies after that. So, and I don't think
they rushed it and it wasn't good and fucked everything up.
That was not the correct way to go.
Yeah.
And they're suffering.
The next movie they're doing, not next movie, they're doing the Flash movie with like time travel and shit. Maybe he'll just reset everything.
I mean, I hope they reset everything, but I'm so worried that they're gonna fuck that up. You're talking about the Flashpoint paradox. Yeah. I'm so worried they're gonna fuck that up because that is by far probably one of the greatest animated movies of all time. Is the Flashpoint paradox. I mean, we get to see Batman cry. Like, actually cry. Like, that is...
They can probably pull that off. Make a Batman cry.
Ben Affleck fucking smiling as Batman looked fucking stupid. I was like, what is this
Michael Keaton,
bullshit?
too. It's fine. You can cry.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be... It's weird, dude. And I don't even think Ben Affleck is doing Batman anymore. I think, like, he is officially...
I think he's going to be in that Flash movie, and then people pretty much think that he's going to die in that Flash movie.
Okay.
Because he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. I gotta imagine, like, he was probably pretty pumped to be Batman, and then this has just been such an awful experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought he was pretty good at it, honestly.
He's alright.
I didn't like the movies he was in so much, but man's Bruce Wayne I thought worked.
Yeah, he was alright. He wasn't bad. Not my top, but he's alright. And then I have zero want or need for the new Batman we're getting. Fucking what's his face from fucking Twilight?
Art Pattinson?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But calling him the guy from he's done a lot of work since Twilight. I think he's a very good actor.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything. So besides Twilight,
I barely
even watched Twilight.
He's it should be good.
It will have to be something that, like, the fucking ratings are fucking outstanding, and all my friends are like, bro, this movie's fucking amazing, for me to be like, okay. And that's not so much just him. It's just more of, like, being burnt time and time again on DC. Like, DC has just been a fucking shit show, and I could care less about DC.
I mean, it seems like with this Batman movie, it's a totally separate thing from this universe, they just let go of the idea that any of this shit is connected mostly anymore. Yeah. So, they'll be free, do whatever, and make it. I'm worried they'll try too hard to like emulate the Christopher Nolan stuff.
Yeah.
That again too much, but seems promising. They got the Riddler.
I was really excited whenever they're talking about doing it. I haven't heard any more besides just the talks of it, but. They haven't discussed, like, who would be the Batman or anything else like that, but they talked about turning the Arkham Asylum series into an actual movie, which would be fucking great, because those games are fucking phenomenal. The story was fucking solid. So if they followed the fucking story, it'd be fucking amazing. Fucking story was so fucking good, and we have CGI these days, so we could definitely fucking do it. Because those games are so good, dude. Oh, the story behind it was so compelling. So fucking compelling. It was so good. But it's like they talk about the fact of doing a Joker too, and it's like, what universe are you going to even set up? You know what I mean?
Right? Like, yeah, I mean that thing is its own world.
I know, but it's like he's like the clown king at this point. That's great. I mean, but like,
right? Like, does it take place 15 years later? Like, who is he against at that point?
Well, that's where my confusion comes into play, because it's like, if you just automatically do the switch to where, like, he's now the crime prince of Gotham, it's like it doesn't feel like he was quite there yet. He was more that guy of like, all right, cool, like I'm finally getting justice for me for once. I'm the little guy that keeps getting fucking shit on. Like, I'm getting justice for me for once. To where, like, now he's, like, fucking running shit and is, like, intelligently there. Like, we need to get there first. And it would be such a weird movie of just watching the Joker get there, you know what I mean? Versus
and also that guy is not at that point, it's hard to make him a protagonist, Like, he's just a bad dude.
Yep.
At that point, like, what is he doing? What is the plot of that film?
I don't know, man. DC is... You thought the fucking comics were confusing. Jesus Christ, with the 52 different universes. Well, they decided to do the same thing with the fucking movies, and it was not by design either.
So... Right, yeah. I mean, there's who knows how many universes are. I mean, who knows if any of that Suicide Squad stuff will ever cross over to any of the other stuff ever again. Right? Like,
well, I mean,
Quinn will ever touch in on the universe where Wonder Woman is still.
I mean, she might not necessarily show up in the movie, but it is the same universe because we had Ben Affleck's Batman.
Sure. The question, I guess, will
that
ever intersect again? You know, or are they just going off in two directions that don't relate?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, where's the need? You know, like I could see James Gunn having enough fucking power to shut that down because of fucking how I feel the fucking Suicide Squad went. And they've had such fucking shit movies. DC has, like, I could see James Gunn shutting that shit down. Like, nah, we don't need to fucking intersect. Like, I could make another fucking 5 Suicide Squad movies. Like, just keep giving me bodies.
Because then him wanting to intersect in a way where he has more control over that intersection.
I mean, possibly.
He wants to try to right that ship in a way where it makes sense.
What a fucking play that would be, dude. To go from Guardians of the Galaxy, probably one of the like most, or probably one of the comics that have a group of comics that have the smallest fan base, turning them into a fucking like internet movie sensation, and turning them specifically into a household name. Like it was a fucking like culture shock for me to walk into my fucking comic book store and seeing little kids in there with their moms picking up the next issue of Guardians of the fucking Galaxy off the shelf. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't a thing before that movie.
Wild.
And so to go from that to possibly one day directing fucking Justice League, like the direct competition of fucking Marvel, wouldn't that be fucking nuts, dude?
Yeah, or something, or just
what a fucking play,
not necessarily
dude.
That, but like just controlling, giving them direction on it. You know, like they had a lot of input in the Marvel stuff, just beyond Guardians, I think, or like base aspect of all of it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to let James. Well, before he got fired temporarily, they were going to let James Gunn have a lot more power over there. I think now he's less involved. But...
Imagine. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know if he would take the fucking DC gig, dude. I can't think of a single person.
I think after Guardians, he's done, man.
I can't.
Guardians 3.
Well, I can't think of a single person that's weird enough for him to have his brother play us. Like, I can't. Off the top of my head.
He can play Calendar Man again or something. Like, he can play a weird ass Green Lantern. There's one that's like a squirrel.
There you go. Fucking Weasel becomes a permanent part of the fucking Justice League, dude. Fucking.
There's a lot of weird ass.
Yeah, there is.
Characters.
Oh man, that's fucking nuts. Yeah, that would be crazy, dude. That would be crazy. I don't know, man. Like I said, if we can get some more James Gunn-ish directors, or even just James Gunn himself, you know, fucking movies like that, I would be a lot more interested in fucking making a return back to the fucking DC movies like as they come out versus like I'll get around to it when I get around to it. Like I mean, this Suicide Squad I definitely didn't watch like day one, to where like fucking if this would have been like another Avengers or something, I would have watched it the fucking moment it fucking came out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, so I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts. But yeah, my thoughts on Suicide Squad for the ending of this. I'd give it 7.5. It's pretty high up there for me. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fair. Like, I mean, there were some characters that, you know, I didn't know, which was nice. Well, I say I didn't know. I knew them, but like being able to like actually see them on screen a little bit more in the public eye was pretty nice. Like I said, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie definitely fucking stole the show, in my opinion. Definitely the top people. And, the one thing I did want to fucking mention, fucking the scene where fucking they're all like, oh, well, where's your mom at now? And he's like, she's everywhere, and it shows everybody as his mom, was fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, that was a very different interpretation of the Polka Dot Man.
Yeah,
from the comics.
That was a weird one, dude.
But he was cool. It was fun.
He's an interesting character for sure. So, but yeah, and the whole fucking thing about Martin, that was funny too. Whenever he got shot in the office, and he's like, "Fucking Martin."
Oh yeah.
And fucking Harley Quinn's all like, "Who is Martin?" He's like, "He's been with us the whole time." I was in there yelling to myself. He's like, "He's been with us the whole time," and I'm like, "But she hasn't." She doesn't know who the fuck Martin is. She's like, "Who's Martin?" And then at the end, she calls Idris Elba Martin.
Rode and together for a while.
Yeah. And then she calls Idris Elba Martin at the end of the movie. She's all like, "Well, I'm your friend Martin." He's like, "That's not my name." Yeah. She's like, "We just had a whole argument about your name being Martin." He's like, "We did not." Oh, man. Oh, well. But yeah. So, yeah, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think is a pretty good score for this movie. JoJo?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it the 7.5 to 8, in that
there
area.
You go.
I'm nicer. I'm just a nicer guy.
Just a nicer guy.
Pleasant and supportive. I'm very impressed that they made a movie that didn't suck, because the other one was not.
Yeah. It's the normal fucking Disney way to do things, or not Disney, fucking DC way to do things, is to fucking make terrible goddamn movies. So, been pretty fucking bad so far.
My second favorite of the DC, well, the modern DC movies, not like counting Batman stuff from before.
Yeah, the modern.
Shazam,
Shazam wasn't that bad. I need to watch that one again. I think I would like it.
I like Shazam.
Yeah, I need to watch that one again. I was sick whenever I watched that for the first time, so that was like one of those, like, I went home from work because I was sick. I was in the middle of a breakup. And I watched It 2 for the first time. Was super excited for that. And it was like I had all my excitement like on that, and that was it. Like, so I watched Shazam directly after that, and it was kind of like I was just sitting there just watching it. Like, it wasn't like something where I was like excited. So I think I need to watch that one again, because I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it. I think the actor did a great job.
I think it was a fun thing they made.
Yeah,
it's not like incredible necessarily,
but it's just funny.
Just have an attachment to Shazam.
It's just funny to go from like It to Shazam.
It's a very different tone.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, and not to mention, like, that one was a lot more gruesome, like kid wise too. Like, it's when they all come back as adults, but there's like this one scene where like there's this little girl, and they're at like a softball game or something like that, and she's sitting in the bleachers with her mom, and she sees this firefly. Like, she's trying to talk to her mom, and her mom's like, "Hey, we're here to watch the game." And so she sees this firefly, she chases it, and it goes under the fucking bleachers, and then all of a sudden, like, it just fucking disappears. And all of a sudden, like, you start to see the firefly again, and like fucking Pennywise has caught it, and he's opening his hand, and it's like shining, and he's talking to her, and she's got like this facial defect birthmark on her face and stuff like that, and she's like walking up to him, and she's like, "I'm not supposed to talk to strangers," and he does the whole like, "Oh, I'm Pennywise. Pennywise, you Pennywise. Now we're not strangers," like stuff like that. And he's like talking to her, and then she's all like, "Well, I better go," and he starts like acting like he's crying. He's all like, "No one likes me because of how I look. Pennywise, the sad clown. No one ever wants to be my friend." And then she's all like, "Well, people make fun of me because of this all the time too." So now he's got her. Like, she's done. And so then he's all like, "Oh, I could do one blow and it would be gone in seconds," and stuff like that. And then it's the best part of the movie, because he goes to do, he's like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, 1, 2. And then they do that. Bill Skarsgård is just so good. It's because, once again, he's got that lazy eye. It just fucking plays in perfect, because it looks like his eye is just moving intentionally. And so he's just sitting there and like fucking just like completely dead silent, and she's just staring at him, and he's got like saliva and shit just dripping down, and just fucking just staring, but you can't tell where he's staring. And then she's just like, it sounds like a dick move, and I'm not making fun of him at all. It definitely plays into the character. It was amazing. But she's like, "Aren't you supposed to say 3?" And then he just fucking just lunges at her, and she's just done. Like, gone. So good, dude. So good. That's one of the pops that I want to fucking get to, where he's sitting there holding the fucking firefly. That's my goal. It's like, it won't be this fucking Halloween, obviously, because of fucking COVID, but at some point I want to be able to start throwing my fucking Halloween parties again and get everybody invited over. But I want, by the next time I go to do my next Halloween party, because I should be in my house at that point, I want to have every Pennywise pop there is. And I'm going to fucking hide them all around the house, like in somewhat obvious places, but not too obvious. Yeah. And then fucking, like, that would be, like, one of the games is, like, if somebody can find all the, I'll give fucking people, what, you know, like a little notepad or something. It's like, you fucking find out.
How many of those do they make?
There's, like, fucking 20 of them, dude.
Jesus.
There's a lot. They have one that I want really bad. I don't want to pay the money for it, but it's $60, and I'm kind of probably going to pay the money for it.
A Funko Pop?
But it's the scene. It's one of the scene ones.
Okay.
And it's literally Georgie trying to reach in for the fucking boat, and Pennywise is in the sewer with the boat going, it's like, it's fucking iconic scene. So I really want that one, but yeah, like all the other ones are like fucking.
I bet that'd be way cooler if it was in any form other than a Funko Pop.
Yeah, probably. You know? Yeah, like
any
an actual
kind of statue that doesn't look like that.
Yeah, like something from like fucking McFarlane. That'd be fucking dope, dude. McFarlane does great. Be a lot more bloodier for sure. They would probably have the scene after that whenever fucking it's got one of Georgie's arms in his mouth and is reaching out of the fucking sewers while you see this little fucking 8-year-old kid, one arm just fucking trying to fucking crawl across the street away from the fucking sewer drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be more of a McFarlane toy for you. I'd probably have to go to Play Arts to get the more PG version. The people who make the Final Fantasy statues.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, working on.
Oh well, but yeah, no, that's the goal. Is the next Halloween, because I was known for throwing gigantic Halloween parties. Like Kelsey was always there, like Scott was always there, like every year I threw these huge fucking Halloween parties. Like I go all out. That's my shit. That's my month. That's my fucking holiday. I go all out. I decorate the entire place, like everything. I fucking full spread, food, snacks, whatever. So fucking, I get back to that. Especially if I have a house at that point. Oh god.
2022.
Huh?
Hey.
Yeah, 2022.
Yay.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I'd like to have more room too, because I'm definitely one of those people where like whenever people come over, I want people to drink, I want people to have a good time, and I've been like such a big fucking person against like drinking and driving, so I'm like fucking pick a spot. It's your spot. I've got covers, blankets, pillows for everybody, all set right here, so you don't have to feel awkward about asking. Just grab it when you want it and fucking go.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I do that for fucking like every time Scott and Kelsey come, they spend the night. I do it every single time. It's awesome. And then next morning I normally go out, get breakfast for everybody. And then it's like, all right, now people can leave if you want to leave. I don't care. It's the weekend. Fuck it. Who cares? Do what you want to do. You want to stay, you want to stay. You want to go, you want to go. But anyways, we're going to wrap this up here. Yeah, that was our official ratings on Suicide Squad there. I gave it a 7 to 7.5. JoJo went 7.5 to 8. All in all, good movie. HBO Max subscription to watch it if you want to watch it. I don't think it went to theater because I don't think it was dual. I think it was only streaming.
No, it's in a theater.
Oh, it is in theater as well? Okay, so if you want to see it in theater, you can see it in theater as well. But we're going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and subscribe. Also turn on the notification. That way you get notified next time we upload a video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts, views, and anything else that we didn't cover that you think we should have talked about. Is there, something that you wanted to hear us talk about? Because we could always fucking possibly bring it up on a podcast. Other than that, we have Twitter and Twitch links. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you next time.